On Sydney's south side, not far from some of the city's trendiest restaurants, MLA has brought together a group of influential and up-and-coming Sydney chefs. They're here to launch Lamb Masterpieces, a marketing program aimed at the chefs and food suppliers who determine what is served up by Australia's $40 billion food service sector.
To get this many people turn up is fabulous.
This lamb marketing campaign specifically promotes non-loin cuts and follows on from 2010's successful Beef Masterpieces launch.
We launch beef showing the chefs how to use it by using their peers. So we've got well-known, really respected chefs from all parts of the Sydney community presenting fabulous recipes to basically show other chefs how easy it is to use these cuts, and then they get to taste them.
Two-hat chef Matt Kemp has been a champion of the non-loin lamb cuts for more than a decade. He believes anyone can cook a primal cut, but not everyone can create an inspiring meal from cuts such as neck, shoulder or lamb breast. And after tasting these overlooked cuts, his diners think maybe they can use them too.
It kind of makes you think, okay, well maybe I can try and find this, and when I do see it next time, maybe I will have a crack at it, you know. I'll keep my eye out for a recipe that, can incorporate something like that, so you're going to be more aware.
Creating awareness is what this launch is all about. And using chefs to plate up non-loin lamb is a guaranteed method to get the message across.
To be able to engage them, MLA works with them to get them comfortable and familiar with the cut and see the possibilities for their menu, both in margin and also in creativity, and then put it in front of the customer to try. But as well as that, we're also subtly using these same chefs as ambassadors and running print campaigns and magazine campaigns.
As the guests moved around the room, they tried 5 different dishes made with shoulder, neck, breast, rump or mince. Plenty of choice for a meat supplier to think about.
I've come along tonight so that I can take out into the industry what the MLA is introducing tonight to the chefs and to the establishments in the way of restaurant choices for their menus and how to use the secondary cuts.
90% of the meat Top Cut supplies is red meat, but the buoyant lamb market has put pressure on how much lamb is supplied to the food service sector.
It's copping a bit of a bashing out there. There's a lot of menu replacement being made with it in replace with beef, just purely because of price. But hopefully that'll come in line over the next 18 months. But this is why these products are so great.
The food service manager at one of Sydney's largest sports stadiums agrees non-loin cuts are well worth considering. At a major event like rugby's Bledisloe Cup or League's State of Origin, his catering team will provide up to 10,000 meals in a night.
Yeah, definitely just getting new ideas, different ways of using other cuts, getting away from the primals, which are getting expensive, so to use the other cuts is a great way of sort of doing something different.
And footy fans are particular about which meat they eat.
Again, because our clients are fairly high demanding of red meat, we've just got to look at other ways of using different cuts to still give them their red meat and still get sort of the value for money for us and for our clients.
One of the world's largest distributors of food goods is Australian-based multinational Bidvest. National turnover is in excess of $1 billion annually. It supplies government contracts, corporate clients and aged care facilities. Red meat supply is a growth area for this company.
Probably in excess of the 35–40% a year growth. Bidvest as a company sees a future in red meat. We've aligned ourselves with the likes of MLA, with the MSA licensing, and we see ourselves as a major player within the Sydney market.
These cuts work for chef Warren Turnbull as well. He has 2 Surrey Hills restaurants and has used non-loin cuts for the past 6 years. One of his signature dishes is braised lamb shoulder, which is what he prepared for the launch.
Something that is so cheap and simple can be so flavoursome and beautiful and quite extremely easy to do, whether you do it at home or you go to a restaurant and order it.
Matt Kemp's dish, made with lamb bellies or breast, the thin layer of meat over the ribs, went down well with the guests. His restaurant diners react the same way.
You know what the feedback is? Is every time I put a secondary cut on, if there's ever a loin cut on, if I put a non-loin cut on, that sells better than a primal cut, for sure, 100%, always, because that's the one where they're going to have, they know I put some work in.
And while they were here to work, the chefs, like the guests, thought the night was a positive way to get the food service sector to think about using more lamb.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. You know, it's we need to show people more of the, you know, there's a lot more to an animal than just the prime cuts. You know, there's all these other pieces that we can use, which I think are very underutilised. You know, if we can get more people out there buying these cuts of meat and cooking with them and not being scared of it.